Aloha hoku ohana. So we have a really beautiful message today. It's all about the intercommunication with your internal plasma as a bioplasma being, as being more of a non-physical being than you are even physical. And this intercommunication that's happening with our sun, right, with our beautiful star of this solar system, is actually changing the way that we see our journey on Earth, especially emotionally, right? Seeing what comes up in the emotional body, being able to hold space for that, being able to provide yourself with something that, you know, you may initially think that you need from the external stimuli, but in reality you're actually able to provide this for yourself, because reality is not static by any means, okay? Instead, it's a continuous summation of infinite quantum paths, and it's all encoded as a wave of possibility. How you align your free will in this realm is going to result in the continuums that you end up experiencing. It will completely alter the trajectory in which you experience down this space and time realm, right, down the space-time continuum. And it's really being able to align your actions accordingly in support of your values, your morals, your ethics, your principles, and not compromise that, because every time you do, you betray oneself. You know, the solar plexus has been coming up, and that's the first message that we're going to talk about today, actually, with the central sun that acts as a dome into other realities, where, you know, you've landed in this realm where your higher self is incarnated into this physical vessel and this avatar, and you are limitless in this realm. This realm does teach you limitations through that huge contrast and polarity, and it's being able to hold space for that and realize that, okay, limits actually do not exist. There is only an illusion of that. It's only the limitations that one sets upon themselves. So whether that's you being afraid to do something because of how you're going to be perceived, for example, either you're in a state of creation or you're in a state of fear. If you're worried about being perceived by the external realm, then you are in a state of contraction, my friend. You're not aligning your actions with a timeline that is really supportive of your highest possible expansion and expression, okay? Instead, you're almost reducing oneself to either try to fit in, or, yeah, they wanted a photo, or like, you know, I don't know, for social obligation or courtesy, or, you know, whatever it is. It's no longer just merely interacting with this matrix, again, mirroring the wounds or the cause for love, right, which is attachment, but instead, you're being able to hold space and move through this realm completely detached, completely fluid, and completely free in that way. So the message that was coming through, I'll go ahead and show you the cards that I pulled before this, but it says, you know, understand this, this internal communication that's happening with the oracle with them. The solar plexus has been coming up significantly in regards to not betraying oneself. Every time you say yes to something that in reality you want to say no to, you are betraying oneself. And here, we're not here to just talk about it, we are here to show you in reality. So I put myself in a position, all right, in a predicament where, you know, we do have some friends that want some photos, right? But in reality, when they ask me, I'm going to say no, because I don't want to do it, right? It's not supportive of my highest possible expansion. It's something that will actually bring me out of alignment energetically, and the external stimuli. لا شكرا لا 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 خلاص شكرا جدا مع السلامة. Yeah, sometimes it's the power of no and it's the power of choice, and that's another message that was also coming through today. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and show you the messages that we have, right? Let me go ahead and show you. But yeah, it's coming back to this knowing. What I was channeling this morning was understand this, cultivate this knowing, and come back to it, right? Come back to all that you've ever been, which is this eternal presence, and don't compromise that for anyone or anything outside of yourself. The external stimuli should not govern your internal state. Instead, it's cultivating that internal harmony so much to the point where you are at harmony with everyone and everything around you, you know, within this energetic projection. All it is, you know, actually, you know, you cannot judge, you can only extend unconditional love. That's what it is, which is not to change or impart on anything on anyone, but to change the way that you navigate these situations. So the solar plexus is also boundaries in that way, right? Boundaries, connection to the sacral when it comes to exchanging your life force, your pure creative life force seated in a physical vessel. So whom do you want to entangle your energy within this matrix, right? It's almost as if you're, again, an outsider looking in, you're not going to fit in. لا 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 شكرا لا لا مع السلامة. اسمك ايه؟ منى. تشرفنا. لا 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 شكرا جدا.
خذي بس.
بارك الله فيك. شكرا. مع السلامة. I'm not gonna take any photos.
I love you.
أنا مش بتكلم عربي. أنا بحب
بتهبلي؟
لا فوتو شكرا مع السلامة. Yeah, it's about who you're going to entangle your life force with within this matrix. I mean, the girls were really, really sweet. مع السلامة. Yeah, it is all love. Yeah, it is all love. They're very sweet. But the thing is, it's no. That's what it is. There's time. There's certain things that will just compromise your boundaries in that way, and it's not being afraid to say no, regardless of how you may be perceived in that way. Look at this cute kid, right? But then we're also aware that the parents are right there, and they usually send. It's just observations that happen. But yeah, to love is to not attach, and to extend unconditional love is to accept people exactly as they are. You know, again, I love those girls, but I can also hold space and realize what it is that I need most in that moment, which is not to seek external acceptance from them, you know, to get them to understand that I don't want a photo, but to at least accept myself, right? And I find harmony within them as they within me, and it can all be so easy, right? It's where we begin to judge, and judgment is a form of survival, right? Love is the absence of judgment, and love is love is the absence of judgment, right? So if we're judging, then we're really in a state of survival, because we're observing a situation and judging it to assess if we're safe, if we're secure, if our spirit feels safe and secure within this physical vessel or not. And that's what survival really stems from. It's how safe do you feel in this vessel? Again, your pure creative life force. Imagine this light, and every time you connect with everyone and everything, you're exchanging your energetic life force. Do you want to be entangled on a quantum level, right, with certain exchanges that are parasitic or self-serving in that way, you know? So with that being, our first message is the central sun. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this card. We're attracting a little bit of an audience, but yeah, here we are doing it right in front of Khafre's pyramid. Assalamu alaikum. Esmiki? They're cute kids. I'm not going to take a photo though. لا شكرا. لا مع السلامة. شكرا جدا. Yeah. See, the first time I came here, I was saying yes, and there was a compromisation of my boundaries, and I had a talk with myself, the oracle within, that night, and we said we're not going to do it anymore. So let me go ahead and show you anyway the central sun. Let me not get sidetracked on these side quests. Let me find it, because I pulled these cards this morning. Where is she? Beautiful, beautiful card. Here she is, the central sun. So this is abundance, downloads, and success, and it's very interesting because we have the scarab beetle there as well. Okay, so again, you are composed up of that plasma, right? You have the cell, which holds within the nucleus your DNA, your memory of your etheric origins. And when you had incarnated into this physical vessel, and prolonged embodiment within this physical vessel can risk you forgetting one's etheric origins, right? And then once you come back to that knowing, and consciousness begins to wake up and become aware of itself right now, and to wake up and to awaken is really just to remember who you are, which is to discard everything whom you are not. So yeah, the central sun is all about confidence, right? The solar plexus. In that confidence is not betraying oneself when it comes to boundaries, okay? So let's go ahead and read the central sun. But yeah, it's this regenerative life force to be able to come back to that internal harmony. Let me go ahead and read it for you guys. Okay, your message: the great central sun is shining brightly in your life and upon your world. This is a time to regenerate. Tiredness and old energy is being washed away. Old skins have been peeled off to reveal a sacred and more aligned you. And that's exactly what's being peeled off, right? Everything that is not you, okay? Again, that is the awakening, to discard everything that you are not, the limits in which one sets upon themselves due to societal expectations or matrix programming. Assalamu alaikum. I have a kid approaching by. Yeah. So yeah, this is an exciting time. The central sun energy is magnetic, all powerful, opening you up to light and supporting you as you express your own light in this lifetime. Look at this, guys. Let me just show you live what's going on. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
No photo, please. من فضلك. No photo.
تتكلم عربي؟ تتكلم عربي؟
لا أنا مش بتكلم عربي. لا لا لا. خلاص. كفاية من فضلك.
منين؟ What was
Yeah, so anyway, boundaries, right? And that's a great example. Okay, and again, there is no judgment, there's no hardships there. It's actually deep gratitude and love extended towards him, simply because if you can accept someone as they are, that's a gateway into compassion, and you can begin to, again, you're not here to change or impart anything on them, but it's being able to really control the way that you interact and engage and exchange your energy with this simulation, right? With this external energetic projection. Look at this, guys. Look, I'm supposed to concentrate. Look how cute these kids are. Like, look at them. They're really cute, but I'm not gonna do it. Once you do it with one, that's it. لا شكرا لا مع السلامة تشرفنا. Yeah, so the power of no. Even now, right, we're surfing through infinite timelines. You've seen how many people have come up to me. I'm using this as an example. There's no just random reason why I'm recording. Okay, like there's infinite fractals in which we're surfing through. Assalamu alaikum. Esmaki. Tashrafna. Okay, yeah, so even though we have a crowd, like, we're fine, okay? Anyway, we'll just let them be there. But anyway, it's like, again, you guys are the main character. Everyone else are background characters in that way. It's source working through others. Even if consciousness is not totally aware of itself yet, right? Even if that fractal of infinite potential has not come into that full awareness of oneself, you're still aware of them, and you can still hold space for them and actually extend gratitude. And that's my point. You can extend gratitude to them, and in doing that, you can thank them for that invitation. All people are doing are offering you an invitation to practice self-love. That's what it comes down to. Is it a call for love, or is it an act of love? Everything is rooted from love or fear, right? So how do you want to respond? Right? So anyway, let's continue. It says, new ideas, opportunities and experiences come easily to you at this time, like the sun kissing the perfectly ripe soil, and the seeds you planted are being encouraged to grow, right? These are seeds innately within you. All you're doing is coming back to that innate knowing, right? Realize that in order to go beyond your horizons, it's important for you to welcome energetic exchanges, right? But understand what timelines are parasitic, what timelines are supportive of your highest expression, which ones align with your values, right? Or which ones feel like there's a compromisation of your boundaries, right? Solar plexus energy. Realize that, again, okay, when you help others, you let yourself be helped in return. You are helping them by choosing what's in for you, in alignment with your highest good. It's naturally in the highest good of those around you, even if they don't understand that yet, okay? So it's that type of energy, all right? And you are helping them by mirroring a different example. To love is to not attach. To love is to move detached through this experience. To be detached is to be fluid. To be fluid is to become high vibrational and to see the oneness in everything. That's what it is. And, you know, this is cultivating, again, such a strong sense of harmony where no external stimuli is going to interrupt that internal peace that you've cultivated. And then also, your emotional state is not dependent upon the external stimuli. Like, my emotional state is not dependent upon if they're standing there and watching me do this or not. It doesn't matter to me. Again, like, I love them, holding space for them. Hopefully بتتكلم إنجليزي؟ لا. See, they don't understand, but hopefully vibrationally they're gonna understand what I'm saying, right? I just ask them لا 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 شكرا. خلاص. Alright. Yeah, so that's what you can do. You can't really change and put anything on them. And then as soon as you do that, we also had Soul Star there at the base, right? Which is remembering who you are, remembering who you've always been. This 8th star, right? This is your gateway to source, guys. It's your gateway to source. So fulfilling soul contracts and remembering who you are there, alright? Okay, now the second message that came through was Shamballa initiation, so we'll go ahead and read this one. Let me go ahead and show you. He might be pulling them away. Alright, so this one says, Shamballa initiations, retreat to recharge, trusting the process and Dharma, okay? So again, to align with your Dharma is to essentially choose a path consciously when it comes to you molding and shaping your own destiny. Your destiny is not just going to be handed to you. You're not just flowing freely and having your, again, internal state just be completely compromised or completely dependent upon the external, because if that were the case, then you hold a belief system within you that is parasitic. You are draining yourself of your own life force in that moment. So yeah, that's another message that came through. So I'm going to go ahead and read Shamballa initiations for you. This one says, when things quiet down in your life, know that this isn't a failure but an opportunity to retreat and recharge. And even if you're in the external realm, right? Hopefully this thing is on. Even if you're in the external realm, hopefully you heard me either way. You can always retreat to that inner store sanctuary within. You can always go through this filtering through the infinite fractals of yourself existing throughout the multiverse and decide how it is that you want to align your actions and your free will in that moment. Okay, so let me go ahead and read it. It says, in the busyness of the physical world, our spirit is often playing catch up with our body, right? Be so in tune with the body so you know exactly what you need in that moment and provide that for yourself. This is where you become your own mother, you become your own father, because you're so in tune with the masculine, right? The physical body, as well as the feminine, right? The non-physical aspect of self, right? The etheric aspect of self. And you've come into that integration where you have mastered that triad. You have mastered creation in the physical realm in regards to how you want to exchange with the external, how you want to exchange your life force, right? It changes the way that you interact with matter as you're operating in a high octave. And as you operate in these high octaves and you ascend into these high octaves of self, you begin to shed and flush out these lower frequencies or belief systems, which again are just things that have been reinforced and have now become crystallized thought forms within your field that you're cleansing, right? So yeah, this talks about take time to gather energy, spend time in meditation or reflection in order to gain a clearer awareness of your current situation. You will uncover many insights and gifts during this period. Realize that there is a master awakening within, and that's exactly what's going on, right? It's as you cleanse out this dense matter, these belief systems that are weighing down your infinite potential, right? You can now begin to access your gifts. You now begin to recover a lot of memory, okay, into whom it is that you've already been, who it is that you have already become, but you're aligning with, okay? You're embodying those traits or versions of self. So that's the second message. The last one is the Venusian Galactic Council that came through, okay? So let's go ahead and read this one. Okay, the Venusian Galactic Council. This one says it's a call for action and it's time to shine, okay? So it's time to shine. Answer the call, right? What is the call that you want to answer, right? And you can, I'm hearing, don't be afraid to answer, and then if it's something that you don't want to do, don't be afraid to decline as well, right? So this is a call to action. You are being called to step up and create the changes that you want to see in the world. And again, it's only through your action that you begin to collapse things through space and time. So you have a reason for being here and have the potential to inspire, support and heal your corner of the world. Don't let this information scare or overwhelm you, for you are being prepared energetically to step into this role. The ideas you've been having recently are divine downloads, okay? And again, this is the intercommunication that's happening. This is an internal dialogue that's going on. And you're being told to move forward step by step. You'll be shown the information, right? You guys will uncover the information when it comes to this, and these are, you know, confirmations. This could be synchronicities, different kind of alignments that are just external indicators, right? Signposts that spirit places our way to let you know that again you are in alignment with your highest possible expansion. And that's where you'll begin to see again higher octave synchronicities versus like the law of accident, right? Which is the universe waking you up and it's like, hey, you know, are you sure you should be saying, hey, are you sure you should be saying yes to this thing, when in reality you want to say no, right? Then you'll start seeing like a bunch of negative synchronicities that will come your way, not necessarily negative but on a lower octave, just to let you know that, you know, this may not be a decision that is totally supportive of your highest possible expression or highest possible expansion. It's literally just having that conscious decision making and application of your free will. There is so much power in that. Reality is so malleable and everything is literally vibrating in a quantum superposition when you look at it from a molecular level. That guy is climbing down, that little boy's climbing down that hole, that crypt. Anyway, we also have some other messages. So the Starseed messages that we have a couple. Okay, let's see. The first one is mirror who or is triggering you, okay? And again, a trigger just reveals a place within you that is not yet free, okay? So who or what is triggering you, right? What is being mirrored to you, okay? What is being mirrored to you? Maybe you can see that, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so again, you can choose to mirror a different example there, okay? You can choose to mirror a different example. The second one, there was something else that was coming through there in regards to mirror. You can choose to mirror a different example, a different way of being. But you don't have to mirror the wounds of others or unconscious wounds that come to the surface in ways that could be unbeknown to them, but hold space for that, you know, hold space for when you can observe the human that may be accessing, you know, different parts of the brain, because that's going to indicate the state of consciousness that they're operating in at that certain point in time, which again, maybe if that is attachment, that, you know, that's based in fear, and we're always filtering through at all times these different octaves of ourselves. It's how aware of that are you or not, okay? So the second one is adrenaline energy, adventure, say yes to change. So what do you need to change during this time, right? Adrenaline energy is telling you to jump in. Don't be afraid to take action, right? Don't be afraid to really observe what serves you and what doesn't, what is in alignment with your highest good and what isn't. That adventure requires that first step from you, right? It requires an action. Your action will have a reaction. Your cause will always have an effect, right? Even the inaction that you do not take is also a cause, and that will also have an effect, right? So it's just being aware of that. Also, let's see, we have a bunch of messages. Honestly, we have a bunch. I guess we'll just do them all together. The other message that was coming through was the Ace of Wands, right? And when this one came through, we had the Five of Wands here at the base. So this is like very strongly indicating that this is your internal flame. This is like pure creative life force seated in that physical vessel. This is your internal divine blaze, okay, that is consuming you. And it reminds me of radical acceptance in the way where others may try to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke if given the opportunity to do so. But it's up to you whether you want to, I'm hearing, have others infringe their will upon you, okay? Because either I'm hearing you change matter and master matter, or master has mattered you. And if you serve too many masters, okay, in this matter, then you will soon suffer, okay? So it's that type of energy that's coming through. And then you also have the Five of Wands here at the base, which is, are you chasing an external flame, right? Are you seeking to attach? Or are you dousing your own fire is another energy that's coming through. Hopefully this might, yeah. Are you putting out your own flame because of how you're going to be perceived, right? That's another energy that's coming through. Are you putting out your own flame because of how you're going to be perceived, right? Because of the external. Because that Five of Wands also indicates, this is messed up, that Five of Wands also indicates internal struggle, right? Being at war with yourself, and life is too short to spend another day at war with yourself when it comes to dimming your light to try to fit in, right? Like, look at this, I'm standing out like a sore thumb right now. Like, Assalamu alaikum. لا شكرا.
تتكلم عربي؟ تتكلم عربي؟
أنا مش بتكلم عربي. لا. Say hi. Hi. أنا بحب مصري. شكرا جدا. خلاص شكرا. لا شكرا. أنا مش بتكلم عربي، أنا مش فاهمة عربي. سوري.
ماشي
مع السلامة تشرفنا. لا لايف. مع السلامة تشرفنا.
ماي فيرست.
وانت اسمك ايه؟
مع السلامة.
اسمك ايه؟
تيتي.
افخم تيتي.
أيوة.
هو ده اسمه معاكي خالد مصري. بس يا عم
اسمك ايه؟
يوسف.
تشرفنا يوسف.
يلا بس كلام عربي اهو.
عبدول. تشرفنا. مع السلامة.
فوتبول.
مع السلامة.
بس يا عم خلاص بقى.
يلا بقى. شكرا جدا. Yeah. yeah, so again, you can exchange your life force, and all it is inserting boundaries. Like, sometimes it's just knowing when to say no and when to, again, it's a third dimensional dream, guys. Like, you have to not be afraid to kind of not respectfully decline and respectfully kick people out of your dream space. And not dim your light. Don't be afraid to do that, right? This is a great example. This is why I love, like, doing this just out here. Say hi, everyone. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. No photo, please. خلاص شكرا.
خلاص تتكلمي عربي؟
أنا مش بتكلم عربي. لا
لما احنا بنتكلم انجليزي عادي.
يا بدي أتكلم إنجليزي.
طب ماشي. What's your name?
أيوة.
What's your name?
اسمي تيتي.
وانا اسمي ملك.
تشرفنا. اسمك إيه؟ ملك. تشرفنا ملك. مع السلامة.
منين؟
لبنان؟ لا.
يعني انت بيتك في يعني منين؟ من اي دولة؟
أنا مش فاهمة عربي.
مش فاهمة عربي.
لا.
لا ازاي؟
مع السلامة. Yeah, they're really sweet, but I just can't do it now, because again, you see, like, this is just a live example. Like, again, it's not judging anyone. It's just sometimes it's just not supportive for your highest possible expansion, especially because I know it's going to take me out of alignment with what I'm doing now as well. It's just boundaries. This is like a great example of doing it out here in the wild and not having shame or guilt in regards to doing that. You should not feel shame when it comes to asserting boundaries. Boundaries are the highest act of self-love, right? Are you aligning your actions accordingly with the timeline that feels like it's in alignment with that self-love? Okay, because again, that is you mothering yourself. That is you being a father to yourself, right? You're nurturing yourself, you're protecting yourself. That creates a baby. That creates how you actually engage with matter. And again, I don't just speak about these things. This isn't the embodiment, okay? This is not just something that you compartmentalize when it comes to a practice, okay? You have this knowledge. Okay, what do you do with that knowledge? This is where you actually act upon that knowledge and you integrate that into your experience, which is what you guys are literally witnessing out here in the wild, right? In the wild, which is why I intentionally came here to do this read, because I knew this was going to happen and I was expecting it to happen. But it's a beautiful energy, like it's a beautiful invitation that's being sent to you. Yeah, it's a beautiful. بدي أتكلم إنجليزي؟ بدي أتكلم لا. Yeah, he doesn't speak English anyway. But yeah, hopefully, I think vibrationally he gets what I'm saying. So again, it's more telepathic messages. There's something within the spirit within, you know. Okay, the next message that came through was the Fool card, which is not having anything hold you back, right? Nothing in this world should hold you back. The Fool card is completely curious, right? He is a curious character, and she's freeing herself in this card. She has Uranus energy. She's a little bit unexpected. She's the one that nobody really saw coming in that way. She is going after the things that she wants in life, you know, taking a leap of faith on herself. She's showing up for herself in ways that, you know, she's never done before. It's that type of energy. Ma salama. أنا بحب مصري. I said, I love Egypt. He said, I love you. I love Egypt. Yes, I love everyone. I do, but it's that energy. Again, that love is without attachment. You know, it's just, I'm super grateful for everyone that's come into this creation today, this co-creation, how Source has just like orchestrated these events to be able to show and demonstrate boundaries and to be able to demonstrate love, and how that can be paradoxical, because that's not how this matrix taught us for love to be, right? It's almost like this was an inverted truth. The love was attachment, the love was compassion. I'm going to hug you, I'm going to kiss you, I'm going to take photos with you, I'm going to do this thing, even if I don't want to, you know. Again, I'm compromising myself. So yeah, the Fool card is about taking that leap of faith on yourself. The Fool card is also about, yeah, showing up for yourself in ways that you haven't done before. And as you do that in the present moment, you also heal your parallel timelines, right? Your past lives, your past and future lives as well. You do it for those who have come before, because naturally there is this contraction or suppression, even ancestrally, right? You're made up of the selection and choices that your ancestors have made, and that's actively being expressed through you in unconscious ways until you become conscious of that. Okay, it's when you begin to become conscious of that, you can gently guide your path towards your chosen destination. You can allow your heart to guide you towards your chosen destination, your desired experience here on earth. Okay, And at the base of that was 10 of Cups. So again, it's you taking a leap of faith on yourself that allows you to enter into that realm of true happiness with the 10 of Cups, right? And look at this, it's so, let me see. There's a few other messages that came out, but I'm probably gonna, maybe we'll do that in another read. Let's see. The last card that came up was Parallel Universes, okay? Parallel Universes talks about the power of choice, which is, again, so just supportive of everything that we talked about today. This diagram here, this is showing that every decision you make creates a branching universe, right? There was like infinite timelines that I could have entered into that, right? I could have said yes to this person, I could have said no to that person. That would have completely changed the experience, but I'm locked in. This is what I'm telling you guys when I tell you to look into a very specific path or a very specific intention that you want to experience here on earth. Stay locked in. The external stimuli will come in as a, you know, you can call it an obstacle, you can call it a challenge, but I'm seeing the Queen of Wands right now, so even in the face of adversity or challenge or whatever you want to call it, you can masterfully engage with the external realm, right? Because you have that mastered that internal interaction, okay? And you can pursue your creative visions. And what's another word for the Queen of Wands? She usually says, she says less than she knows, but she shows what it is that she knows through her embodiment, through her actions. Her silence can be deafening a lot of the times is what I'm seeing, but your actions will speak 1,000 words. And she does speak, but she speaks with power and she speaks with confidence, right? It's a fire energy. It's like the solar plexus energy. And sometimes she does things that are like against societal expectations and against the status quo. And it's only natural when you go against the grain to face a little bit of resistance, but you can see it as resistance, or you can see it as an opportunity or invitation to, again, practice what it is that you know in that way. So it's a beautiful energy. So I'll go ahead and read some of you, for you, some of the parallel universes. I didn't bring the book with me, but oh yeah, look at this quote from Thoth as well. It says, "Seek ye forever in the veil of the darkness, somewhere ye shall surely find light. Hidden and buried, lost to man's knowledge, deep in the finite, the infinite exists." Again, deep within this finite vessel, your infinite nature exists. Masalema, yeah, lost but existing, right? And it's like, lost is a state of mind, but kind of wandering in this realm is being given an opportunity to find a new way. You're never really lost. It's about really being able to align your actions with intentions. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Lost but existing. Bye, masalama. Nice, sweet girls. Lost but existing, flowing through all things, living in all is the infinite brain. Okay, so again, being able to see that interconnectedness, and again, how the external characters are giving you an opportunity to align yourself with love, again, once again. So it's that type of energy. So let me go ahead and find infinite universes real quick. Infinite universes. And again, if you don't enforce those strong boundaries, then that's where you begin to betray oneself. We still have another. I don't know, guys. This thing keeps switching off. I don't even know if it's connected. Hopefully it is. Anyway, let's continue. So the power of choice. How did you become who you are today, right? And how did your belief systems shape you into becoming who you are today? And how can that shift and change as those beliefs begin to dismantle? How did you get to where you are? Although all your lived situations, events, experiences that we have throughout life are important factors, they are not the answer to these questions. They happen to play the role of the apparent ones, but the real determiner is choice, okay? And again, the power of choice, and every tiny decision you make creates a branching universe. It's that energy where, again, reality is not static. Instead, it's a continuous summation of infinite pathways that are readily available to you at any given moment in time. Each encoded as infinite possibilities. And it's up to you what possibility or chosen destination you want to align with. That's all it is. So they happen to play a role in the apparent ones, but the real determinant is choice. They may appear as the most obvious reasons, but it is choice which plays the key role. Even when we do not have a choice or do not take it, we are still choosing. The apparent ones deal the cards of the game of life, but do not play. So who does? Choice. Every choice you have made, no matter how small or relevant it may seem, attracted threads and threads of energy and has molded who you are today, as if you were a piece of clay, dancing softly at the mercy of the rhythm. And with each choice, infinite possible webs transpire in other realities, right? These are all already existing, playing out. All you're doing is aligning your actions, right? That reality is already there. You're aligning your actions in order to be able to experience it. Experience what has already came to be, and you're in the early stages of the becoming of it, right? Becoming a sacred witness to the story of your path, your Dharma unfolding. It's the unfoldment of your path. That's what the Dharma card was with Shamballa initiations. So the decisions of the universe work in mysterious ways, but always in our favor. Our choices are sometimes correct, and other times we can make them be. So again, how can you make those choices correct? Even if you've said yes to something that you want to say no to, again, don't be afraid to say no or set those boundaries, whatever that may be. Let me show you guys the view. Assalamu alaikum. اسمك ايه؟
Your name Ali.
علي. تشرفنا علي.
Camel Pepsi Cola.
بيبسي كولا. تشرفنا بيبسي كولا.
Smile.
No, he's smiling. He's fine. Yeah, let me show you guys. Hi.
Give later photo panorama.
لا 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 شكرا. لا لا لا. I'm okay. لا 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 لا. لا لا لا. I'm okay. لا لا لا.
Okay. You 1 hour 500 Egyptian. Panorama pyramid circus 500.
لا أنا بتمشى شكرا. أنا بخير بتمشى.
انت بتعملي لقاء.
Yeah, so that's all you got to do. Again, you can't really change or impart anything on anyone. You just, again, you know what it is? Your frequency and vibration begins to inform matter, right? You can see how the space was taken up. He was standing there for about, I think, like 5-10 minutes. I just let him chill there, you know. Again, it's not going to govern my internal state. Just, again, observing. And in that moment, I just informed matter. I said, okay, I don't really want him in my dream space. That was something that I was going through internal dialogue in regards to. And then your frequency begins to shift, right? Your frequency begins to inform the external stimuli, and your body as a result of that becomes lifted and elevated by that frequency and light and that truth that you've been able to hold in your being, right? Being able to live according to that truth and your authenticity, and not compromise your authenticity, not compromise speaking up for yourself, right? The throat chakra. Okay. That's basically what's coming through. And then also we have a few other messages, but I think I'm going to close out for this one. I'm probably going to sit on Khafre's pyramid. I almost freaking dropped you guys.
$1.
لا 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 شكرا. لا
هو ده لايف؟
لا
يعني ينفع دلوقتي تخش اشاهده؟ ينفع اخش اشاهده؟
انا مش بتكلم عربي. انا مش بتكلم
دي
عربي.
لايف.
لا 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 لا. مع السلامة مع السلامة.
ينفع نخش اشاهده لايف؟
لا 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 لايف. لا لا
$1.
لا لا. مع السلامة. Again, you can choose to mirror those wounds. I mean, again, these are great examples, really. مع السلامة مع السلامة. Yeah, that's what it is, you know. I mean, you can also, again, just be polite with it, you know. there's so many other ways. I think people get triggered. There's so many, I don't know, people, again, that trigger just reveals a place within you that's not free. If you are getting triggered, then it shows where you're not at that internal harmony within yourself, right? So anyway, we will probably, I don't know, maybe we'll sit on cafe and then I'm going to do 3 star child messages that came out as well. But I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. I wanted to take you with me just live in action and show you how your action has a reaction in the physical realm. Your cause will always have an effect, okay? And it's about having that conscious cause. So with that being said, I'm going to take you with me on cafe and we'll do some following messages. Let's see. We only have three like more of the star child messages, but they're quite long and Well, they're not long, but maybe we'll do this in another one. Let's see. I actually have these ones on my phone. Okay. Okay, the first message that came out today. Ready? The first message that came out today is travel. Okay, travel. Let me put my cards on here. Which is quite funny, right? And we have the dragon ley line, okay? The dragon, which is like Draco's constellation, which is the constellation of this solar system. And also another thing with parallel universes that was coming out is, again, there are parallel lives in which you're also existing in and you're connected to on a quantum level, right? Quantum non-local connections and parallels. I'm just gonna stay here. And you're recovering memory from those timelines as well. As you begin to choose with self-love and ascend into a higher octave in this third dimension, right, on Earth, you also begin to pull forward your generational lineage because you're showing up for them in ways that they were not able to, and maybe you were not able to in those, you know, past lives or parallel lives, whatever you want to call it. And as you begin to pull forward this one body of consciousness and help them ascend into a high octave, you actually end up, I'm hearing like becoming that portal, like your decisions actually become a portal. You being in that present moment is a portal within itself.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome, hello, assalamu alaikum.
You like water?
لا, I'm okay, I have water.
Okay, Unlisted is here.
I come later to you. شكرا جدا. Yeah, it's a beautiful energy. But I just got sidetracked a little bit. But yeah, with those parallel quantum non-local connections, لا شكرا جدا لا. You end up recovering those memories. And yeah, I'm getting a bit, let me just ground for a second. And you also pull forward your starseed lineages in the same breath, simultaneously. I wonder if there's a tunnel in there or something, because it seems like he's going to sit down there. Anyway, that's got me curious. Okay, it's 12:12 on the clock as well, which is about, again, decisions that you guys make, right, lead to new beginnings. 4 is about that creates matter. 4 is stability. And 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 is about reevaluating, reflecting, and reviewing your engagement within Metatron's cube, right? 666. Being able to really have that internal reflection before you respond to external factors. Okay, so the travel card talks about inner and outer journeys, believing in yourself and having big shifts. Okay, all is frequency. You are intention. Find peaceful solution by connecting with the higher self, right? Within. My dragon guide has come to take me on a spiritual vacation, right? Okay, travel with your dragon guide to elevate the vibration and burn up anything that is not buoyant. I think that's how you say it. Heavy emotional frequencies, mental struggles, and magnetic connections with others are dissolved now, so that you can easily lift off and follow the dragon's flight. Okay, I'm seeing like burning any like soul contracts or karmic contracts within this third dimensional experience. Again, anyone or anything that you've entangled your life force with, you know, quantumly through any kind of interactions. And again, your non-action is also an action. Not every call is for you to answer. Sometimes the best response is no response whatsoever. So it's that type of energy as well, right? So can you allow your travels to take you out of your comfort zone? And I'm hearing take me anywhere but home, take me anywhere but my comfort zone. And there is no more room to grow in your comfort zone. Your full potential is on the other side of things that you have not done before. Your full potential lies on the other side of that fear, right, where you naturally want to kind of hold yourself back for one reason or another. I'm hearing like suppress your own truth. So, yeah, your guides take you to Lemuria. And the best traveler I'm also seeing is like the one that knows how to travel with the mind. So it's giving me gamma perception, right? Which is like fifth dimensional frameworks of thinking, where you're seeing these obstacles or invitations as they arise, and you're kind of again, filtering through these infinite fractals and deciding, okay, if I align my actions in this way, if I say yes to this thing, this could be the sequence of events that unfolds, that will be the continual or destined outcome that I experience. And it's seeing the power of being able to foresee that, right, before you actually act. And that helps you, I'm hearing, be equipped with a proper response. So maybe you decide that you want to go down a different trajectory, right? This is the power of choice, the power of yes and the power of no. So with travel, your guide takes you to Lemuria to show natural frequencies of light. Abiding in vortices of light, you feel completely relaxed, connected to nature in an elevated state. So it talks about being different from an average trip, and you could be naturally sensitive to the energies of the land, right? And sometimes the land invites you to travel to energetic vortices, even internally within you, right? The meridian lines of the earth are also interconnected within you, right? It's like built in. You're equipped with the meridian lines internally. So spiritual travels don't take you away from yourself. Have you felt hesitant to go inwards? Being on a vacation away from the density of the mind, you can now easily see energies that are part of your inner world. So he stores the water. Your guide will be able to take you through these energies and rise higher and higher in vibration. So again, it's interacting with matter, operating in a higher state of being and operating in a higher state of consciousness. So yeah, being able to see these patterns, following the dragon guide during this time, and this is going to be very healing for you to be able to actually receive the guidance. Again, this is intercommunication with your higher self, so there's a fractal of yourself that exists within you, existing at a higher level of understanding when it comes to a human journey on earth. And this is what we talk about when we talk about a continuous, I'm hearing like something around a continuous, not just trajectory, but again, like landscape of time. You can see the full landscape of time, and how, again, if you say yes to this thing, it leads you to a very specific outcome. And that's the network. Alaikum salam. Can you feel how liquid pours into your heart when you connect to your dragon guide, or tears of joy start streaming down your cheeks? It's that type of energy. Okay, again, moving higher and higher, not just on Earth, but also other planets. There's also going to be connections to the Sirius star system as well. Yeah, it's a very interesting energy, guys. It's very interesting to see. But again, this leads you to grid lines across the new Earth. And again, I'll read that download that I received the other day. I think it said the new Earth starts within you, because there's a new energy and frequency that's emerging within you. And as that happens, you begin to align with that new Earth, right? And that is the 5th dimension. It is gamma perception. It is internal, and it begins with within. Okay, it begins with within. So that's the energy that's coming through. All right, I'm probably gonna post up at another spot because I'm getting like warm standing in the sun. Hopefully I can just sit on Catherine's pyramid or something, maybe around the side. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. I hope that you enjoyed that read. And yeah, soon.